Yeah, power bank construction and design, right? So that's what we're going to be considering. Okay, so again, my name is Victor Alamu, right? So of course, just a short note about myself. I'm passionate about teaching. I believe that teaching is leading, and then I love to share my knowledge in order to help people grow and live well. All right, so basically that's basically what I do every day, right? So I teach, and then by way of teaching, I believe you can lead people, not necessarily with the intention of leading people, but there's no way you will teach and then people will not look up to you, and it's just the way life works. All right, so um, that's so much about that. I currently work with more professional institutes. All right, is a vocational institution that is right here in Lagos. That's where the headquarters is. We have our annexes in Ibadan, we have in Shagamu, we have at Abuja also. All right, so we're basically based on training people um, and certifying people. So we are a City and Guilds of London Institute Accredited Center. Okay, so basically, City and Guilds is an institution that satisfies people with vocation who necessarily don't have certificates for what they do. For instance, somebody goes to learn carpentry, and then the person does not even has any certification on carpentry. And so even if you want to get a contract from a government parastatal or maybe any organization, you don't even have what certificate to present as yourself, present yourself as a professional, or maybe you want to travel out. I don't want to do menial jobs when you maybe for instance you go to Canada, to the US, you don't want to do menial jobs, you want to be able to work with your certificates, and you've not even been to the four corners of school, right? City and Guilds is such an institution to provide you with certification for what you do as a profession. All right, so maybe yours is bricklaying, photography, cinematography, some bit of phone repairs, laptop repairs, electrical, electronics, even installations, you do all of those things, and you really need a certification for it, right? Which is, as a matter of fact, internationally recognized, right? You want to go for City and Guilds, right? City and Guilds is internationally recognized. Even if you have BSc or you have HND or ND right here in Nigeria, and then you travel to other countries, yeah, your certificate might not be recognized. All right, so you want to travel out with a kind of certificate that is what is well recognized. So City and Guilds is such certificate, you can get it right here, and wherever you travel to all across the globe, the certificate is what is recognized, right? So yeah, we offer such certifications and all of that, right? So these are some practical sections of our students right here. So I personally teach electronics and mathematics here in this institute. All right, as you can see, we offer some varieties of uh, uh, courses right here, from engineering to um, ICT, which is computers networking, to repairs of computer systems, up to culinary and food preparation. Right, so we offer certification even up to this um, point and all of that. So if you really want to, or you are interested, or you have anybody, who might be interested, you can kindly refer and just, get to me. You can get my contact through the Telegram platform, and I believe everybody is, has joined the Telegram platform already and all of that. So just reach out to me. Let me know what you intend to do. So if you have anybody that is trying to travel out, and they're not trying to travel out to go and be doing, all those menial jobs like, removing ice, cleaning of toilets, doing all those kind of jobs that are not really, um, one cannot really be proud of. You can encourage them to, get a certificate. We do from academics up to vocation. For instance, you can be trained on electrical electronics engineering, mechanical, welding and fabrication, all right, industrial plumbing, maintenance of electrical equipment. You can be trained on varieties of courses that might be very useful and are really, sought after courses, right there, in the UK, Canada, up to ICT and computer engineering, all right. These courses, we have them, and you're going to get a certification that is globally recognized. All right. So yeah. All right. So that's said on that. We can move on to the things that we really came for. Somebody is saying a little hint on fees to enroll to the school. All right. So uh basically it's based on the level you're trying to do. We have it levels by levels. We have from level 1 to level 5. All right. Yes, we have from level 1 to level 5. All right. And from level 1 to level 5, the fee varies. All right. The fee varies. So just kindly reach out to me, you know, through my Telegram page. I could even drop my um, WhatsApp number if you don't mind. All right. So I'm going to drop my WhatsApp number. You can reach out to me through that number, and then we can chat properly. So because I have to know your level of qualification. Yeah, I mean your current level of qualification. That's what is going to determine which of the level you are going to take, right? And of course, the cost, per those levels and all of that. All right. So I'm going to drop my WhatsApp number in case you might want to reach out to me and all of that. All right. So feel free to um, reach out to me through my WhatsApp. All right. Choosing the right power bank. All right. The first thing you want to ensure is to know the power consumption of your phone. All right. So like everybody, requires some amount of energy to be able to do work. All right. So for instance, now if you have not eaten, all right, it's going to be hard for you to do some level of work, right? You might be able to put some weight, but it will require some, real energy from your inside to be able to pull some weight. All right. So somebody that has not eaten, you can't tell the person to be maybe, jacking some 50 kg of weight. All right. Or tell the person to be doing some kinds of work that requires a lot of energy. All right. So you have to first take in some energy before you're able to pull out some work. All right. The same thing with your phone. For your phone to be able to work, there is a level of energy requires to power up that phone, consistently power up the phone. All right. So the amount of energy required is the amount of power that your phone is going to consume. All right. So when we begin to quantize that energy per time, we're talking about power. So your phone consumes some certain amount of energy for it to be able to work consistently. So you have to be able to determine the power consumption of your phone. And to make it much more understandable, you just want to know, for instance, how much of battery capacity is your phone using. All right, some persons, if you check their phone, you'll see 3,000 mAh. Some you're going to see 5,000 mAh. Some you're going to see 6,000. For big tablets, you're going to see 7,000, 8,000, 10,000. And thereabout. All right, so you have to be able to ascertain your phone battery capacity, and that way you can your battery capacity is going to be directly proportional to your power consumption, right? So yeah, so by knowing your how will I say it now, by knowing your battery capacity, you'll be able to estimate at least. All right, so you just basically have to multiply that battery capacity by 3.7. All right, by the time you multiply it by 3.7, whatever it is that you have, right, is what is going to determine your power consumption. All right, power consumption, maximum power consumption. Just multiply it. I'm going to tell you why you have to multiply it by 3.7, right, as we go through the course. All right, so by multiplying that battery capacity by 3.7, you're going to get your power consumption of your phone. All right, so at least it helps you do some estimations around your phone and all of that. All right, so the next thing is that this also helps you choose a correct charger for your phone. So once you know the power consumption of your phone, it helps you choose the correct charger for your phone. And like I was saying last week, if your battery is about 3,000 to about 4,000 mAh battery, you can work with a battery capacity of about a charger capacity of about, let's say, that gives you an output of 2 amps. All right, so if you check your charger, right, you are going to see where the right the current output of such a charger from 1.5 amps to 1.8 to about 2 amps, and then to about 2.4 amps. All right, and then after then you have what we call adaptive charger, which can output about 9 amps of current. What this means is that the amount of output current, which is from 1.2 or 1.5 amps That's you always see 1 point. They will write 1.5A. All right, 1.5A. All right, you see them write 1.5A or 2.0A. All right, 2.0A. You are going to see all those things, written. All right, to about 2.4A, and then you're going to see some adaptive charger that has about 9, A. So they are telling you the amount of current that the charger can output per hour. All right, so now you have to check your charger, know the value that is written on it. All right, if your battery capacity is about 3,000 amps, just go for a charger from 2 amps. All right, you can manage 1.5 amps, but it's not really advisable. Just choose a charger that can output at least 2 amps of current. All right, that is going to charge your phone properly without eating it up and damaging your battery over the long run. All right. Also, if you're going to buy a power bank to charge your phone, ensure that that power bank has at least 3 times the capacity of your battery. So if your battery is about 3,000 mAh battery, all right, you have to ensure that your power bank can at least give you is of a capacity of about 10,000 mAh. What that means is that at least at 3 times 3,000 mAh. If your power bank, if your phone capacity is about 5,000 mAh, you have to at least ensure that you are using a 15,000 mAh power bank. All right, so you want to go for some 20,000 mAh if your battery is about 5,000 mAh. All right, so if you have something higher than 5,000 mAh, you could go for 30,000 mAh power bank. You have to ensure these things because you have to be sure that the storage that you have in your power bank is able to power your phone even when the power bank is getting low. All right, so when it's getting low, at least let's say you have used up to, let's say it's a 30,000 mAh power bank. If you get low, you have used well. All right, sorry about that. Let me just adjust this very quickly. All right, so you have to ensure that that particular power bank still has enough retain energy to be able to charge your phone. All right, the reason why that is because your power bank goes low, and once it goes low, the mAh that is remaining in the power bank is not as when you fully charge it. All right, so please ensure that the power bank you're using has at least some 3 to 4 times capacity your battery capacity. All right, so again, you have to check the output current of the power bank. All right, so this is where you have to be very careful with the power banks you buy. All right, you have to ensure that if you have a very minimal battery capacity, let's say about 3,000 to 4,000 mAh, you can go for a power bank that outputs some 2.1 amps current. All right, if you have 5,000 mAh and upwards, please go for a power bank that is at least some 20,000 mAh and then can output at least 2.2 amps to about 2.4 amps. All right, I know it's hard to get such power banks, but you can also manage 2 amps. All right, but I said manage because normally you need at least some 2.2 amps of current or 2.4 to be able to charge your phone properly, fast charging. All right, yes, you need that amount. So you can get some power banks that can give you, at least there are some power banks that can give you such amount of current and all of that. All right, so yeah, again, you have to ensure that you are using an original power cord to charge your phone. All right, so I actually did this experiment. I think it was last week. Was it last week? Yeah, I used some I use different types of cords to charge my phone. I realized that some cords will charge my phone faster than some cords, right? So honestly, if you really want to get an original cord, you really have to spend some 2,000 naira to get that. If you're buying a cord of 1,000 naira, you might not get the maximum charging from your charger. Even though your charger is a very good charger, even though it's an adaptive charger, right? You might not really get a maximum output, right, from that power cord. So you have to get ensure you get a cord that can give you a maximum what output from that charger. Right. So get and ensure you get it is worth it. The side effect of not getting proper power banks and proper charger cord or proper charger is that over the long while you're going to get damage your power cord. I mean your phone. You are going to damage the battery of your phone, right? And that's why you have to always repair your charger port. You have not even used your phone for a long while. You're seeing that the charger port is damaged already, and you have to repair it again. Or you see that your battery is getting swollen and all of that. So these are the things that are responsible. Not getting a good charger, not getting a good power bank to charge, or not getting a very nice cord to charge it. These things damage your battery, damages your charger port or charging IC, even in your phone, and you have to always repair and repair and make repair and all of that. All right. So please do all of that, and don't place your phone, where there is heat, right? Also, if you have a power bank that has more than 2 or 3 outputs, please, I would advise that you charge, one device per power bank. Even if your power bank has, 4 outputs, all right? Please ensure that you're charging one device per time. What that means is that even though you are plugging 5 devices to a power bank, you realize that those devices are not actually going to be charging effectively. They are going to be slow in charging. All right. So please, for maximum charging, ensure you use charge one gadget per phone. Even it boils down to the charger we use. There are some chargers that have up to 3 ports, up to 5 ports, up to numerous number of ports. Please, some of those chargers cannot actually sustain the capacity required to charge 2 phones at a time. All right, there are some chargers that actually have that capacity, but most of the chargers don't have. All right, so you want to charge a gadget or a device per time for you to be able to ensure maximum charging. All right, so again, check the efficiency. You have to note that the efficiency of your power bank is not 100%. All right, so if they tell you that a particular power bank is 20,000 mAh, just note that that particular power bank is going to be some 15,000 mAh. All right, that's how even humans are not 100% efficient, not to talk of machines. So if you buy a 30,000 mAh power bank, just ensure that that particular power bank is about 25,000 mAh. All right, so you can you are not shocked and you can get the best out of your. All right, so let's get right into power bank construction and overview. All right, so to make a power bank, you're going to have to put some components together, and then to make a power bank module. All right, as you can see to my right hand, here, you're seeing what we call the charging module or the power bank module. All right, here are the components that put together to make your power bank module. So in this schematic that we have right here, is what the everything that you have right here. All right, everything that you have here is what is here. All right, so I know many of us don't know how to put components together. We don't know how to construct electronic circuits and all of that. There's no need to worry about all of this. All right, I'm going to be showing us what we can do to we don't have to go through constructing this. For people who have electronic background and can do basics construction of circuit, you can actually work with this schematic. All right, yeah, is effective. You can design something like this, and then if you find it interesting for yourself, but not to worry, we won't have to go through all these designs and all of that. There are some super made and pre-made modules that we can actually work with in order for us to just about all this. All right, so this is what you have right here. All right, has been compacted into what we have here. All right, this is what we call a power bank module. All right, so you don't have to go through putting all the components together and all of that. So this is a power bank module, and as you can see, this power bank module has some protection right here. So you're telling you that it has an over-discharge protection, overcharge protection, short circuit, and constant current. You want to have all these features in your power bank production. I'm just trying to rush through. We don't have much time again. All right, so here you have another power bank module, and this one is telling you the future that it has. Right here, you have what? A USB port output, which can output 2.1 amps, right? 5 volt 2.1 amps, like I said. All right, so this should be able to charge your battery, your phone reasonably. All right, so you have another micro USB out input, which requires, like as you can see, this requires some 1 amps to charge whatever is connected to it. All right, so again, you have this USB port output, which is 1 amps. 1 amps is different from what 2 amps here. All right, so if you connect your phone to this particular output here, your phone is going to charge slower than when you connect it to this. So please take note. All right, take note. The 2.1 amps is going to charge faster than the what 1.1, I mean 1 amps. All right, so please take note. You have this kind of two outputs on your power banks and all of that. You want to use the best. All right, so for power bank protection, you are going to need a battery connected to that what power bank module. All right, again, you are going to need a what a casing for your power bank. All right, I'm going to be talking more in depthly on that as we go through the course. All right, so this is a typical battery that we're going to be using for what power bank construction. All right, so as you can see on the battery, you have what is written 4,200 mAh. Right, this is telling you how much of current this particular battery can give you in 1 hour. Right, this 4,200 means what milliamps per hour. They are telling you that what this particular battery can output 4,200 amps in 1 hour. And as you can see, the voltage rating of this battery is what 3.7 volts. All right, 3.7 volts. If you multiply 3.7 volts, all right, by 4,200 mAh, you are going to have what the power of the battery. You are going to have the power of the battery. And in fact, if you can remember very well, when we were beginning, I told you that you have to multiply the power of, your battery capacity by what 3.7. This is where I got the 3.7. So your battery capacity, your battery voltage is about 3 volts. 3.7 volts. All right, to get the power of your, phone, of your battery, you just have to multiply with the mAh of your battery, and then you're going to get the power, like I did right here. All right. So for your power bank construction, you're going to have to connect, more than one batteries, and you're going to have to connect them in parallel. All right, this is parallel connection, where the positive terminal of all of the batteries are connected together. All right, and then also the negative terminals are connected together. All right, this we add the mAh together. All right, this we add the mAh together, and as you can see, each of the battery has about 3,400 mAh. Each of the battery, all right, has 3,400. So if you connect all of the batteries this way, you are going to have a total of what 13,000 mAh. All right, why? Because connecting it this way is going to add all of the mAh together, and it's going to give you more power. Your your total addition of the battery is going to what make your power bank to stand much more longer time, right? So you can add as much battery as you want to. These are 4 batteries here. You can add 20, you can add even 100, as much as you want your power bank to last. All right, so these are the things that we're going to be needing for the power bank, like the battery holder. As you can see right here, this is going to sit in the battery to ensure what the battery has a very fixed frame. All right, this is called a nickel strip. Right, what we have right here, this right here is a nickel strip. This nickel strip is needed to be able to glue or to hold the battery together. As you can see right here, this is used to join all the batteries together. What you are seeing on it is nickel strip. Right, this particular piece of metal that you have right here, all right, is actually welded on this battery. And how is welded is by the use of this spot welder. All right, you use spot welder to weld those nickel strip on the battery. All right, so you use it. It's just like a welding, but it's not like the kind of welding that is a very minimal and a low power welding. You just have to put these 2 probes right here, put it on the battery, all right, and it's going to come it onto the batteries, and then you have to do it for all of the batteries as much as you want to join. All right, that's a spot welder right here. Another thing that you can do, in case you don't have spot welder, because it's a bit expensive, this is about 45,000 rand or 50,000 rand right now. Right, so if you don't have access to that, you can actually use just a wire and then a soldering iron with a soldering lead to join. It's going to give you the same result. All right, so we'll move on. All right, so this is a joint battery. This is 3 battery right here joined together in parallel. All the negative joined together and all the positive joined together. And then as you can see, this is the power bank module. All right, and then you can see that this is joined to this particular point where you have the B plus. The positive of the battery is connected to the B plus of what the battery, and also the negative of the battery is connected to the B minus of the battery, and so on. So you are going to see these things on your module for easy connection. All right, so yeah, this is the end of the what of the theoretical class.
All right, so let's get started. I think somebody asked the question here: what happens if you want to charge a 5-volt device than 3.7 power bank charges? Okay, so basically, this is what I didn't get to explain on my slide. Let me try and display it again. On my slide, we have two sections of the power bank, right? Let me look for the slide again so I can display it. All right, so yeah. On my slide, we have two sections in the power bank. We have what we call the voltage booster section, all right, and then we have what we call the charging section. All right, so we have the point where you get to boost, though you are connecting a 3.7 volt battery to the power bank, all right, but there is a section of the power bank that boosts what? That boosts the 3.7 volts into 5 volts. Are you getting it? There is a section of the power bank that boosts the 3.7 volt into the 5 volt, and that's what you have right here. This place that I marked out is the booster section. All right, that's where the boosting occurs. All right, this particular IC that you are seeing right here is what does the boosting. All right, alongside the components that you have right there. All right, so you have the boosting section before you have the charging section. All right, so this is the charging section right here. This charging section is responsible for controlling all of the parameters, the overcharging, that disconnect. For instance, when your phone gets filled up, right, you saw that your power bank will discharge. We stop charging. That means it will go up, right? So these are the sections that control. It's basically the control section for the bank to do. All right. So yeah. So there is a section even for this power bank. All right. This one also, all these ones, they have in their circuitry. All right. This is the control section for this particular power bank, and this is the booster section. All right, for this particular power bank and all of that. So all of the power bank modules, they have what we call the boosting section, the control section, and all of that. Do you understand? Is it clear? All right. Okay, so let's move on. I hope it's clear. Who asked the question? University of Extra Income City. What he said is late. You are still going to catch up, right? The video is very ordered, so I'm going to show done with class, right? So you can catch up with anything you miss. All right, so let's just get right into it. Guys, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's a very new YouTube channel. As I said, I just started taking tutorials and all of this. I've been doing all of these things, physically before. Like, we get to run some courses, here physically. For instance, we just concluded on our inverter training session. So taught people how to, build inverter from scratch. All right, so yeah. That's part of the things that we do, and a couple of stuff that we also do, which I'm still going to let us in on all of the details once we are very well familiar with ourselves and the community. All right, so basically these are everything you are going to need for the power bank construction. As you can see right here was one of the battery bank that I just made. I basically used to have access to lights right here, so I really don't need a power bank, right? But one of the afternoons like that, I don't know what happened with all of the power. So my phone was down already, and there was no any power supply. Even the inverter, I think it got spoiled then before I got to repair it. And then I needed to charge my phone, so I just had to quickly look for batteries that I have lying around in my lab right here, and then pull this thing together, connected it to a power bank, and then I quickly had to charge my phone. And this was actually what prompted me to want to teach people on how to do this thing, because a lot of people might be stranded like me that day. All right, and you just want to put something together and then to charge your phone as fast as possible and all of that. All right, so this is one of the batteries that I put together, and as you can see, it was soldered. All right, I soldered cable to connect together, as you can see right here. All right, I soldered the cables to using a soldering iron and soldering them. All right, so but then you're going to be seeing how I do these things, uh, just in a while. Okay, so this is the power bank module right here. All right, what I have right here is the power bank module. As you can see, this is the power bank module. All right, like the one I showed us in the slide. All right, so yeah, this is the power bank module. All right, it has a display that displays the status of your battery, and then the charging also. All right, this is how the box looks like. All right. So this is another power bank module. So you basically have a number of them. You can decide to go for the ones you want. All right. So this is another module. This one also has a display system. All right. So I'm going to be using either of the two. All right. I'm going to be using either of the two. Either of the two will work. All right. Either of the two will work. All right. So guys, I'm going to be telling us on the community where we can get to buy some of these components. I will give us websites where you can get to even order and then go to ship it directly to where you have, wherever you're streaming from. All right, so I basically have 4 batteries here. You can have as much as battery as you want, right? But I have 4 batteries here. All right, I've used them before. All right, I have 4 batteries here. I have 4 batteries right here, and which I'm going to be using. Okay, so this is the battery holder I was talking about that you can use to what? This is just to seat your batteries. All right, here you can just seat your batteries, and it's going to seat well and all of that. As you can see, it's going to help you. And the good thing about this is that you can string them together. All right, you can just string them together, and then you have 4 battery holders like that. So you can add as many as possible depending on how much you want to. This is another one right here. You can continue to add as many as you want to. All right, here's another one right here. Like this is a total of 1 to 6. I can have 6 batteries on this one alone, right? Because so I'm going to just be, because of the fact that I only have 4 batteries here, right? You can have more than, you can have up to even 10, even up to 20, depending on the capacity of your battery that you want. All right, as you can see. So this can hold 8 batteries now. This can hold 8 batteries, but I only have 4 batteries here. As I just want to show us. All right. Okay. How to know if a battery is bad? For batteries like this, most of the time you will see a form of corrosion on them. All right. And then if you're charging the battery and then it doesn't take time before it dies off. All right. I'm trying to remove this thing. I don't know why it's like this. So if you charge the battery and then before you know it, it's dead already, you know that battery is bad. All right, and I've taught us how we can actually prevent our batteries from getting damaged on time. All right, you have to ensure that you are using a very good charger to charge it, and you're not draining it to 0% most of the time. That damages your battery and all of that. So yeah, to know a bad battery, if you have access to the battery, like you can see it like this, you see a kind of rusting on it. You are going to see some kind of rough bodies that is going to have, or you're going to see sometimes maybe some liquid coming out and all of that. So yeah, so that's how to know. Again, you might, if you have access to a multimeter, I actually promise I'm going to be teaching you guys on how to use a multimeter. All right, so this is a multimeter. All right, the multimeter is used to measure ranges of parameters, electrical parameters or electronic parameters. So this measures voltage, it measures AC voltage, it measures DC voltage. All right, as you can see, it measures resistance, it measures capacitance, it measures quite a number of stuff, right? So for just the sake of this class, we're only going to be measuring DC voltage. So I'm going to be setting my multimeter at this point right here. All right, and we're going to be measuring just this. Now, for your lithium-ion battery, which is this kind of battery that you have right here, this is called a lithium-ion battery. All right, if you take a closer look at this battery, you're going to see some things written on it. All right, they're generally called 18650. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, it's not really clear. camera is not displaying it, so I don't know. But right here on the, just as I've shown you on the slide, you have okay, yeah, you have, I think you can be able to see it a bit now, 18650, and then you have 4800 mAh, and then at the down part you have 3.7 volts lithium ion battery. All right, so yeah, so that is the capacity of the battery. All right, so this has 3.7 volts, and you have to understand that that's a nominal voltage. All right, so basically I want to test the voltage of this battery, right? And I'm going to be telling us some of the things that we have to take note on lithium-ion battery. On the advert that was played, somebody was asking if and where to get this kind of battery that are original. And I must tell you guys, to get this kind of battery, original one, is quite hard. Like the ones you find around in the market are actually fake. They're going to tell you is about 9600 mAh, but by the time you start using it, it will not even last you 5 minutes. All right, before it goes down. So honestly, I've bought a lot of this kinds of battery, and this one that I'm even holding is not really the original one, but this one is at least a bit better compared to many of the ones you are going to find in the market. All right, there's how to get the original one. I'm going to be letting us know about all of those details in the course of the class. All right, so now measuring this particular battery, you should have at least 3.7 volts. All right, 3.7 volts you should have. All right, so I'm placing this is the positive of the battery. All right, this side, you're going to see it written plus sign, and then you're going to see the negative sign written at the down part, right, as you can see. All right, so you're going to be putting the red probe on the positive side, and then you're going to be putting the black probe on the negative side, and then this should display on the multimeter the voltage of this battery. All right. So this is showing about 0.4 volts. All right. I think the light is reflecting off it. This is showing about 0.4 volts, which is guys, sorry about the light thing. All right. So this is showing me about I'm not sure if this is the right. All right. So this is showing about 0.4 volts, which simply means that this particular battery is bad. All right. So if you have anything less than 1 volt, when you test this kind of battery, anything less than 1 volt the battery is bad already. All right. So this particular battery now is bad. At least I should have some 3.7 volts. All right. But it's showing me 0.4 volts, which makes is bad already. All right. So I'm not going to be using this battery. I'm just going to throw it away. Let me check the other ones. All right, testing the other ones. So this one is showing about 3 points. This is showing about 3.06 volts, 3.06 volts. So this one is very okay. This one is very okay. Let me check the other ones. So this is showing some 3.9 volts. All right, this is showing some 3.9 volts. This is also very good. All right, this is also very, very good. So the one that is bad, I'm going to throw it off. All right, and then this is showing 4.03 volts. 4.03. So this is very okay also. All right, so I'm just going to be trying this. I'm going to be changing it with another one. Let me get another battery. So this is another battery here. So this is measuring about 3.9 volt, I suppose. All right, so this is measuring about 3.9 volts, which is very, very okay also. So guys, again, another thing that you want to note about this kind of battery is that once you want to connect them together, please ensure that, or maybe you just bought it newly, ensure that you test all of the voltages of the battery. All right, ensure that you test all of the voltages of the battery to ensure that the difference between those voltages are not too much. For instance, now we tested one to be 4 volts, we tested another one to be 3.9, tested another one to be 3.7. All right, so those are still relatively close to each other. The reason is that if you connect these batteries together, let's say one is 4 volts, let's say this one is 4 volts, and then this one is 2 volts, and you connect them together, this particular 4 volts, because of the fact that it's higher in potential than this 2 volts, it will tend to be charging this 2 volts. All right, it will be charging these 2 volts if you connect them together. So you have to ensure that if this is 4 volts and this is 2 volts, you have to charge this particular 2 volts to ensure it gets up to what 4 volts also before you connect them together. If you connect this one 4 volts and you connect these 2 volts together and you allow them to connect together like that, this will be charging the 2 volts and it's going to damage the both battery at the long run. So it's going to run down the both battery, and that way your battery is going to get bad. It's going to go below one volt, and you might not be able to revive it again. All right, there are cases where you are able to revive it, and most cases you are not able to revive it again. All right, because these kinds of battery are not like your car battery. These ones, if they don't read a particular voltage, their chargers will not charge them. All right, the charger will just assume that you are not connecting any battery to it, and that's why it will not charge it. So, and most of the time, you might not be able to revive them. Sometimes you get to revive them, but most of the time you might not be able to revive them. All right, so somebody is asking me, what if we charge the one with less battery with 1 volt? All right, so 1 volt can still pick up. All right, with a very good charger, 1 volt can still pick up, but less than 1 volt, in fact, that 1 volt set is under probability. But less than 1 volt will not pick up. It will not pick up. All right, it will not pick up, guys. It will not. All right, so that's said on that. Let me just quickly show us how we can quickly piece this thing together. So I have these 4 battery, and I'm going to be placing them on this battery holder right here. All right, to connect them using a cable. All right, just hold on. All right, so I'm just going to be putting them together, sitting them on the battery, holder, and connecting them together. All right, so should have another one here. All right, so as you can see, this helps me hold the battery together, or batteries together. All right, it helps me hold the batteries together. So I'm going to be taking my soldering iron, which is right here. All right, guys. So I'm going to be taking my soldering iron, which is right here, and then the first thing I want to do is this is the wire I'm going to be using to join them. All right, so I have to strip off this cable. I have to strip the cable off it. I have to strip the cable off the wire. All right, so the cable is the rubber part of the wire, the insulating part of the wire. So I have to find a way to strip it off. All right, I think this should be enough right now. Yeah, it's enough already. So after you have stripped it, you have to ensure that you kind of roll it together to ensure that the wires are very, very well they stick to each other. All right, so you see what I'm doing, trying to make them compact. I don't want any strands to be left on the roll together. All right, so this is going to ensure that you have solid soldering. You're going to have solid soldering. Right, let me just cut off this edge. If there is no life on the battery, will it still refill? or something above. No, if there is no life in the battery, that means the voltage is going to reach 0 or less than 1 volt. All right, it's going to reach 3 or less. I mean, it's going to reach 0 or less than 1 volt. All right, so once you measure it and you are having less than 1 volt, all right, if you try to charge it and then it's not charging, just know that what the battery is bad already. All right, so the first thing you want to do is to what place solder or soldering lead on this cable and on this wire, as you can see. All right, so this is my lead right here. So these things are not hard. All right, they are not actually hard, as you see it. Any amateur can do this. All right, I asked one of my kids to do it last week, and he did it for the first time. There's just a 12-year-old person, a 12-year-old boy that did it. All right, so I'm trying to apply solder lead to the wire. This way is going to be easy for me to solder it on the battery. All right, I'm first trying to apply the lead on the on the wire, so that it's much more easier for me to place on the battery. All right. So again, you could get the spot welder. If you get the spot welder, you don't have to go through all of these processes. All right, you only just have to put the nickel strip. I hope I'm still visible and you can hear me. All right, so I'm done with applying solder to the wire. So the next thing you want to do is also apply solder on the battery. Right, I already have some solder on the battery here, but I'm still going to do it again. All right, so ensure that you apply solder, and please, when you are soldering, don't allow your soldering iron to stay too long on the battery. The reason is that these are lithium-ion battery and they are very, very quite sensitive to heat. So you don't want to allow your soldering iron to stay so much long on the batteries. You want to do it as fast as possible, like some 5 to 8 seconds, right? Anything that you have 5 to 8 seconds, just place it and then put some solder on it. All right, so I'm going to be placing this wire that I just apply solder on. I'm going to be placing it on. Now remember, I told us that in connecting your battery, you have to connect all the positive together. So these are all the positive are connected together as I sat them on the battery holder. So now I'm trying to So I just placed the cable on it, and then I'm trying to use solder to melt it on, to join both of them together. All right. So guys, this thing is not as hard as we think. So it's not any air cooling. It's not an air cooling task. All right. So it's what anybody can do. That's why I said that you don't need any engineering background to be able to do this. All right. So the good thing about this thing is that I'm going to be showing us where we can get real original batteries, all right, that will really last us more than the ones that we used to buy, in the market. I'm not kidding, guys. Real batteries that are going to, last us. All right, so I'm done soldering, this upper part, which is the positive part of the what's it called, of the battery. So I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side, which is this side of the battery. So I'm trying to peel off, cable. this should be enough already. All right, so the same thing you did for that one, you're going to string the cables together to ensure that they are well tightly knitted to each other or one another. Right, all the strings. Ensure you ring it well. Ring them together well so that your soldering has a very nice, and it's firmly attached to each other. All right. Ring them well. All right. So yeah. So again, like I did the other time, I'm going to apply solder on it. Right. The reason why I'm applying solder so that it's easy for me to, join it to the battery. I already have solder on it also. Right. So what I did to the first one, I'm going to be doing again. Like I said again, if you don't want to go through all this stress, you can just buy the spot welder, all right, and just learn how to use the spot welder on YouTube and all of that. All right, but spot welder is about 50,000 naira right now, so you can afford it. And that means if you're going to be doing it on a large scale, right, maybe for people, and you're going to, you could just get it so it makes your work very fast. All right. So I'm going to apply solder on the battery also. Remember, don't stay too long on the battery, because you don't want so much of it on the battery. Battery is very sensitive to it. You have seen lithium-ion battery burn down a house before, or there was a Samsung phone that was released some time ago that it literally can catch fire in your hand. I think I saw one video like that. A Samsung phone, it caught fire. Quite a number of them like that. So it's because probably they put them under intense heat and then caught fire. You understand the way they are being manufactured, you have to be careful with them. So that's why also don't put your phone in a place where there is a lot of heat, and don't put your power bank also in a place where there is a lot of heat because of the batteries. So I'm trying to solder the wire to the battery. All right. All right, are guys still with me? Is everybody still with me? Are we still following? All right. So as you can see, in few minutes, I'm done. Like in few minutes, it doesn't take so much, right? It doesn't take so much. It doesn't take so much of time like that. So I'm done. So what is left now is just to connect what the positive of the battery to the B plus of the power bank module. All right, that's just what is left, and then we'll have our power bank working very fine, just like that. All right. So yeah. So again, you have to strand the wires together. You have to ring them together. All right. And then I'm just going to be using this particular power bank here. All right. So yeah, I'll be using this. So I'll be using this, and then here I have written the B plus. All right, I have written the B plus. I mean B minus here. As you can see, this part is where the root was the B minus, and this other side here is the B plus. All right, this other side here is the B plus. I'm not sure you can see it. All right, so this other side here is the B plus, right? As you can see, this B plus. All right, so the B plus is going to be connected to the what? To the positive. This is the positive of the battery, and the B minus is going to be what? To the negative of the battery. And it's as simple as that. All right, so that's basically what I'm going to be doing. All right, so like we did the other time, you're going to apply solder to the mouth of this cable. All right, so you're going to apply solder so that it's easy for you to solder it to the power bank module. Just apply solder. All right, apply solder to its mouth. All right, apply solder to the other one too. All right, so again, you're going to apply solder to this one. I think it has solder on it already. I've used it before. So you have the same thing, this one. All right, so this is the B minus here. All right, this is the B minus here. This here is the B plus. All right, so this is the negative of the battery. This is the positive of the battery. Negative, positive, B minus, B plus. So I'm going to be connecting the negative, all right, here to the B minus here. All right, so negative to the what? To the B minus. So I'm just cut this small out. It's a bit too long. All right, so just join them together. That's all you have to do. and then the B plus is going to be connected to the what? To the positive of the battery. So this right here I'm holding is the positive of the battery. So I'm going to be connecting it to what? All right, so now it's connected. And this simply means that our power bank is what? Is ready. All right, this simply means our power bank is ready. All right, so this power bank has a switch right here where you can get to switch on the power bank. So I'm just going to try to switch it on right here. And as you can see, it came on. So currently, this battery has a total cumulative of 74%. Right, it has 74%. All right. So there are some displays at the right hand side here. I'm not sure if you can see it. There's some displays right there. So it's time to test our power bank. So I'm going to be using any one of the ports. I don't know which one is 1 volt. I don't know which one is 2 point something volts. But right here, I've plugged it already. Right, so just going to be charging it. All right, so this one, let me just power it on. It's currently charging. All right. Currently charging, which is currently 21% now. All right, 21% now. So according to the information I'm receiving from the phone, is remaining some 2 hours 56 minutes for it to be fully charged. All right, so for me, I don't know if the place where I plug the what's it called, the cord, is the fast charging part or it's not. All right, so I'm just going to switch it to the other side to see how many minutes remaining it's going to show me, to be able to ascertain which is the fast charging side. All right, so I'm going to switch it to the other side. Okay. So this one is showing 2 hours 3 minutes left. All right, so obviously, okay, I think it's the same thing, 2 hours 56 minutes. So both of them basically output the same amount of current. All right, so this is currently charging, and this is how you basically build up your power bank. So now, I know the next thing that we have on our this thing is, getting. Does anybody have any questions so far?
So with that, we can move on to the next thing, which is the packaging for the power bank. All right. For that, I'm going to share my screen. Is there a maximum or minimum battery for the module, and is there sizes for the module? Can it charge a laptop, being that the voltage of the laptop is more than 5 volts? All right. Answering your question, is there a maximum or minimum battery for the module? Of course, yes. All right. But this is it. Now, you have to understand that your phone, even if you open the back of your phone and you check it, you're going to see that the battery of your phone is rated 3.7 volts. What that means is that you can't power it with more than that, right? How far you can go is 5 volts, and that's why you see even at the back of your phone that from 3.7 volts to 5 volts. All right, so anything beyond 5 volts can actually damage your phone. So whatever or how many batteries you connect, whether is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 10, or 20, or 100, just ensure that all of them are connected in parallel, not in series, right? If you connect it in parallel, they are still going to retain just 1 volt, which is going to be 3.7 volts or maximum of 4 volts if you fully charge them. All right. Ensure you connect all of them in parallel such that When you add all of them together, they don't exceed the 3.7 volt nominal voltage, all right, or 4.2 when you fully charge them, all right. Once that criteria is put into place, you don't have any issues. As to whether you can use it to charge a laptop, no. Your laptop requires, for instance, the charger of your laptop is about, for some phones, is about some 19.5 volts. All right, yes, for some phones, it's about 19.5 volts. So 5 volts cannot charge 19.5 volts. It's not possible. So you cannot use it to charge a laptop. However, if you want to learn how to build a power bank that can charge your laptop, I could teach that also, which is I'm still going to show us some details about that also, which is very, very lucrative if you actually want to learn how to do that. Because I think many people also have issues with their laptops. All right, you want to be able to have a power bank for your laptop, which I think is the first thing I think any small business or entrepreneur should want to do. All right, most of the times the reason why you need power is because of your laptops and phone. All right, so I feel if that is sorted out of the way, and you can't go and get expensive laptop power bank out there. They are really expensive. I'll show us. There's some power banks, laptop power bank that is up some $150 on eBay or Amazon. All right, so you don't have that kind of money to spend on, and that's why it's good to learn how to do these things. Okay, so yeah, but then that's just it. You can't use no matter how, even if it's 100,000 mAh or 1 million mAh, as long as it's 5 volts, you can't use it to charge your laptop. Right? So you have to find a way to make it some 19 point something volt or thereabouts, before you be able to use it to charge your laptop. All right. So, but there's a way to do that also, and love that. Okay. So let me just go ahead and share my screen. Now, guys, the thing is, after you have known all of this, right? After you've gotten yourself familiar with all of this knowledge, the question remains that what are you going to do with what you have learned, right? You could decide to do power bank yourself. You could decide to do it for people and earn passive income from there. You can decide to, you can do whatever you want to do with it, all right? But then don't be limited in what you. Most of the time you are going to learn stuff like this. The real application of yourself is now what you are able to do with this knowledge, all right? What you are able to do with this knowledge. There are quite a number of things. I'm sure if you begin to think on this, okay, so I've learned how to do this stuff, now what can I do with it, right? For some of you, you don't want to be doing power bank like people are doing power bank. You might just apply to a particular thing and then add it to something, make improvement on it, think on it, think on everything you have learned, think on, put them together. What can you do with it, right? What can you do with it? I'm not saying can you do it. I'm not asking the question if you can now do a power bank. I'm asking what can we do? What can you do with what you have gained? All right. So now you must have heard of power station. All right. Somebody learned how to do inverter and then thought about power station. What if I don't have to go and buy big batteries and I can embed both battery, solar charge controller, solar systems, inverter, I can embed everything into one piece and make it more portable for people and make it mobile for people to be able to use. Somebody thought about that, right? The person will not just go around doing inverter like everybody's doing inverter also. All right, but that's the application of the fact that you have learned something and you really want to make use of what you have learned. Right? So if you know how to do inverter, you necessarily don't have to be doing inverter like everybody is doing inverter also. Right? So that's what I'm trying to say. What can you do? It's what you have learned. All right. So going forward, so this is a typical example of a laptop power bank. All right. There's a laptop power bank. You actually can use this to charge your laptop. As you can see, it has a 15 volt input. As you can see, you can just reasonably use this to power up your what's it called? The laptop. And connect your laptop to it if you have an internet. And it also has USB ports where you can use to charge your phone. Alright, so this is this particular laptop power bank on eBay is about $150. So now this is a laptop power bank, alright, which It's very portable and all of that. So this is about some 200,000 naira on eBay. You can go and check on Amazon, go and check on Jumia. You are going to see some of these things for 300,000 naira. All right, and they're quite expensive. When I see these things, it just makes me feel like, oh, I think I stopped presenting. This is a laptop power bank, all right? Which is about some 200,000 naira. Even more than that. If you go on GG or Jumia, you're going to see these kinds of stuff for about 300,000 naira, which sometimes breaks my heart because an average person cannot afford this kind of power bank. And what if I tell you that you can actually, with let's say 70,000 naira, build this kind of stuff, and you can sell it as less as some 150,000 naira, right? You can even spend lesser than that in building this kind of stuff. All right. Yes, which is very very well possible. Which is very very well possible. Very very. You can even spend less than that. Like with 50,000 naira, 30,000 naira, you can do something like this for yourself. All right. And just going to show you another design. This is another one. All right. This is about $200 on eBay. All right. So this is about some 300,000 naira. All right. Honestly, which is on the outrageous side. All right. So now, like I explained, I can actually teach us this. All right. I can teach us this, but this is not going to be free, like I said. And honestly, if you have gotten value from what I taught, just the power bank training and all of that, which is very very well, is a lot already. You can actually work with that and all of that. But if you actually need something of a much more higher capacity, like this kind of power bank, it really does not take much to do this kind of stuff. And I really can tell you, it doesn't take so much. All right. So basically, we teach people to do this kind of stuff, in our schools right here. And honestly, is a lot. It's a lot. All right. It's a lot. So, all right. So if anybody is interested, I don't know if anybody is interested in this kind of training, I really can, put us through. And in the real fact, this course actually goes for 150,000 naira. All right. In the school right here. That's how I'm going to teach it alongside basic electronics and all of that, because there are quite a number of things that you're going to learn, in this course and all of that. All right. These are the things that that are covered in that course. All right. These are the things that are covered in that course. All right. But honestly, like I said, I'm not just doing this because I just saw that people might actually need this kind of stuff, and that is why I'm pulling out these resources and all of that to be able to teach people so that they can be able to at least free themselves from a lot of power itch and power issues and all of that. All right. So then, honestly, the recent power challenge posed to an Nigeria with increased fuel price, we made the rest of this hospital. This kind of society that we find ourselves is the reason why I'm actually putting out this one. And honestly, I'm going to be taking us on this course on how to build power banks. All right, these kinds of power bank, how to design it out from scratch, You're going to be learning everything. And like I said, it's very, very simple. It's not as hard and complicated as you think. I'm going to teach us how we can get this kind of casing. All right. Like, you don't have to know about how to design, you don't have to know all of this. I'm going to be teaching us, step by step on how we can actually, do this kind of stuff. All right. So yes. So if anybody is ready to, go for this course, I'm going to be taking this course, at a very much, lesser price. And I'm bringing the price down because, of this particular course I'm on, right? I wouldn't just want us to learn, mobile power banks. I know a lot of us has to do with, has a lot to do with our laptops also and all of that. So I'm going to be, actually taking this course for 5,000 naira. This is going to only go for the first 10 persons that are actually going to sign up. All right, so that once we have the first 10 persons sign up, we're going to reschedule another training, which is going to be going for at least some 10,000 naira at that point in time. Is everybody still with me? So yes, like I said, the training is just going to be going for what? 5,000 naira. Please, if anybody is interested, which I think we should, all right, because I don't know when this kind of training is still going to come up, after now. I have a bit of a free time right now, and I can actually take us on this course for, it's just going to take some few days before we round up with the whole thing and all of that. So please, anyone interested, please kindly reach out to me. I'm going to be sending in my details. All right, I'm going to be sending in my details, very shortly. And please, you can, if you know anybody who is interested, I'm going to be sending the flyers, everything into the group chat, in case you know anybody who might be interested, this is very, very useful. You can, like I said, you can learn this with just 5,000 naira and produce something worth of some 200,000 naira. And I'm not kidding right here, guys. Somebody just reached out to me, that was last week. He was complaining how that, they don't have, they have a plenty supply of lights in their area. If I can do something, he's actually trying to consult me to help him, do a solar inverter, so when I gave him the quota for the solar inverter design, construction and all of that, he said it's too much. So he's trying to let me know if I can design something. I said, well, there's something I can help you design, very small and portable. Just since you only want to power your laptop and your phone, I can design something. And when I calculated the whole thing for him, I calculated about 200,000 naira for the person. So that person is going to be paying 200,000 naira for, the power bank he wanted for his laptop and his phones. And guess what, guys? I'm only going to be spending some 70,000 or 50,000 naira to be building such, these things. So, is a lot. It's a lot and all of that. So if you are interested, yeah, of course, I'm going to be letting us in on all of these details, where we can get it. I said that already, where we can get, the casing. And currently I sell the batteries. Like I sell batteries, all these modules, everything that you might even want to get, I sell them. But in case you don't want to maybe patronize me, I'm going to send him a link where we can get to buy them, all right, of 360, where you can get to order them online and buy them yourself. But mind you, they do not have, the kinds of battery that I was talking about, all right, but you can get the modules from them and some other these things. So for the casing, you are basically going to be consulting people that design casings, all right. You go and you can actually go to market and buy just some basic box casings for your power bank or your laptop power bank. You can get some box casings in the market. Those are some white box casings. Like I said, I'm going to be letting us on how we can get casings from people that designs and all of that. All right, so please, I'm going to be dropping in my account details in case anybody wants to go for the course. All right, I'm going to be dropping all of the details on the community. I assume everybody here is on the community. Am I correct? So guys, that is basically going to be it for tonight. Thanks everyone for joining the class for tonight. I'm so grateful. So I'm just going to be dropping in the link to the group okay, and hint on here for the price of the module. Oh, all right. Let me do that. Basically the module price is, let me just post it. The module price is about, I think it's about 4,500. All right, the module price is about 4,500. That's the one I actually use now. The one I used, or the other one, they are just around that. There are modules that are much more lesser than that, but I won't advise you go for those ones. All right, the module price is about 4,000, and then each of those batteries, honestly, if you want to buy original battery, you really will spend like at least some 1,700 or 1,500. So from 1,500 to 1,700. All right, so 1,700 for the battery. And I think the battery holder, those ones are just, I think it's 15 naira per one or so, or maybe 16 naira. Those ones are not really expensive like that. So what else? Yeah, you want to buy sodium ion also, of course. So yeah, is the price for the modules we use here.
Yes, exactly. It's the price for the module I used here. The exact one, yes, it goes for about 4,500. All right. So, like I said, you might not be able to get, honestly, and I'm not capping right here. I've checked myself, right? I've checked market for to be able to get original batteries. The close, to original battery I could get is the one I'm actually using right now. The one I use for the demonstration for us. That's the one that is closer to being original, right? But the original ones, are not actually you hardly can find them in the market. So for that reason, I basically sell them. Though I don't have in stock right now, but I would definitely let us know once I restock. All right, those ones are original ones. Like you can't beat them. Like you can't beat them. They are original ones, and you are going to see it once you get to see them yourself. They are original ones. But this one I got them for I think 1,000 naira in the market. I got it for 1,200. I got it for 1,200 in the market, right? But they are still manageable, but not as original as you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so that's my WhatsApp number, right? That's my WhatsApp number. Just chat me up, ask any question you might want to, and I will be very very happy to. So once again, guys, the laptop course is available in case anybody wants to get. All right, which is a lot. Honestly, is a lot. I'm going to be offering right there, and like I said, it's not something that is an equivalent tax. It's not something that anybody cannot do, right? You just have to put some piece of component together, and there you go. And honestly, it's very very this can give you a profit of some 100,000 naira on just one project, so that you know that you don't need to get like hundreds of projects before you make enough money. Like just one project can give you, and I'm not kidding, guys, can give you 100,000 naira. Like just one project. I know what I'm saying. This is what I do. All right. So then I really want to help as much as as I really can. All right. That's why I'm giving it as low as once I get a list of some 10 persons. We're done, and then I don't know when I'm going to be up for trainings again, but of course you are going to see me show up subsequently for some free trainings and all of that. But for the laptop power bank, I just have a bit of time to myself right now, and I can really take it. All right, so please, if you're interested, kindly chat me up or reach out to me through my Telegram and all of that. I'm going to be providing enough details also on the Telegram, maybe this night or tomorrow, and all of that. So guys, I hope there's no question and there's no questions. Hope there is no question. We can call it a night already. I hope we got value for our time. Until I show up on our face next time, please, let's ensure we are safe and practice what we have been taught. All right, let's practice what we have been taught. All right, honestly, yeah, let's practice. Yeah, you're welcome, sir. Thank you. All right, so that's where we draw the curtain for tonight. Please take care of yourself and have a good night's rest. Thank you.